turning the yarns in tow. Through Alberta's fields where the wild winds blow, Connie threads tales with Helen spin. Kim's got the tea, let the chatter begin. The Abbey Yaks, they weave the sound of yarn and fiber all around. Knit one pearl, one story's flow, tales of stitches everywhere we go.
And hello. We were talking about what were we going to talk about today? And our yarn is talking to us. So I guess we'll be talking about that. Just before we get going, though, I'm just real excited to. We got our confirmation of our vendor location at Prairie Fiber, and right now we're so excited because we're going to be beside Nelda from Love's Grace Alpacas. So we have great neighbors, and then we're like 2 away from the yak farm. So
appropriate place for the yaks.
Very appropriate place to be. So, make sure you come by, say hello to everybody, come try all the soft squishies.
Yeah.
And come have a quick interview, give us your impressions, what you're working on, what you're looking for. We'd love to have you part of that show. So we are hoping to be doing some live YouTube recording that day, so that would be even more exciting to be able to have a variety of people come and say hi and share what they're working on. So we're talking about, anyway, socks. Miss Connie put the rest of us to shame.
I finished my socks. I wish I had them right here, but unfortunately I do not. But they are done other than the ends to be woven in. So.
And we did get a peek at them the other day, and they're absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Yes. Well, not this weekend, but next weekend, they'll go on a little girl's feet, and we will have her model them. So.
And we'll never see them again.
Oh, yes, we will, because they stay here at my house. So she's not taking those home to Mommy's house, I'm afraid. So no, she can keep them at Daddy's house. So they won't fit her for very long. So hopefully she'll enjoy them for while they do fit. So.
And Kim, I know you're working on something, but I don't think it's your socks.
No, I'm working on that pathway sweater. I'm almost through the yoke.
Oh, nice. That's come along even since I saw it the other night.
Yeah. So it's a really easy pattern to work up. I'm not completely following the pattern. I'm not purling my contrast stitches. I'm just knitting them all.
Oh, okay.
But I like how it's turning out. Except it's trying to tell me that it's not my sweater.
Oh, dear.
Aunt and I are having a discussion about whether it is going to live with me or whether it is going to end up being a gift for someone. It was not intended to be made as a gift.
Well, no, it was picked out for you, so I don't know why it's being so sassy.
I'm not sure. Do you ever encounter where your projects decide that they either don't want to be what the plan was? Because originally this was also planned to be the Cleary sweater, but learning brioche, figuring out how to work with mohair for the first time, I decided was not an optimal
steep learning curve.
Yeah, it was a steep learning curve and not one I was mentally prepared to tackle. So I found the pathway sweater that was similar in appearance, and now it's trying to tell me that it likes the sweater, but it may not be for me.
I don't have my things wander off and tell me they're for somebody else very often. We do encounter the yarn that doesn't want to be what I intended it to be, but my projects have never told me, nah, I'm not yours.
No, my socks have already told me they're not mine. My watermelon socks.
Yes.
Let's say I've had it happen. You spend time picking out the yarn, doing a pattern, revising a pattern, whatever. And then as you're working on it, it's going, oh, I belong to so and so. And it's like,
Yep.
huh.
My very first quilt did that.
Yes.
As I was cutting out the fabric, it informed me that it wasn't my quilt, it was my mother's quilt.
Lucky mother.
She
Yes,
thankfully
indeed.
she really liked the colors I picked because it was navies and champagnes and golds. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she'll save it for you, you know.
Yep.
Huh. It'll come back someday, hopefully far in the future, but it will come back. So,
You
Yes,
know,
she has more of my quilts than I do.
yes, yes. So,
this is a little bit off topic, but seeing as you're talking about quilts,
hmm
um, we know anytime you do retail, whether it's a store, a show, even a
Hmm.
garage sale, things get taken.
Yep.
yeah,
And things go missing, and as hard as you try to be as secure as you can, you're always going to lose a certain amount, which is an absolute shame because everybody works so hard to
Hmm.
bring stuff in. Well, there was a Facebook post today from Nuts and Bolts.
oh no.
No.
Somebody walked off from their store with over $500 worth of quilt pattern kit and material.
Oh my
Wrong
goodness.
deal. I love Nuts for Bolts. They have such beautiful stock.
I know. So I thought, well, seeing as you were talking about quilts, I'm just going to mention it and put the word out there.
And I mean,
They
considering
have,
that they're not even in town, they're out on their property in a rural area.
yeah,
So
You'd
come
have
on.
to be deliberately
out there.
plotting that to
Yeah.
me.
How rude to deliberately do that to a small family run business.
Yeah. And so
Yeah,
they've asked that if the person has, any thoughts or griefs or whatever, just to return it to the side door, no questions asked. They would just like their merchandise back. But
yeah.
Well,
it's like I keep thinking, the yarn merchant is opened here in Didsbury. Here's another small local store. Well,
yeah.
it's really bad when you open a retail that you have to allow for a certain percentage of theft like that. Just
Well, shrinkage. Yeah.
shrinkage, yeah. I mean, that's
Well,
just terrible. But I thought, oh no, they have such beautiful. It's a beautiful little store they have out there.
but
Yeah, it's just lovely. One of our favored places to shop for fabric. So,
Yeah,
I mean, shrinkage, when I worked retail, I understand shrinkage is because of theft. I mean, we were in the city, unfortunately, in the city, and I mean, it was a family owned store that I worked for. But
right.
in the city, you don't have that small community mentality that, you are taking away from a member of the community. But especially to basically go into someone's home
hmm
Yeah,
for that.
so
that is just
If they
heartbreaking.
if they decide not to be honest and legitimately return them, then I hope that they release which kits got stolen and they're found through marketplace and
yeah,
face charges.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Because
Because I
unfortunately,
can't envision how that could be a mistake.
no.
no. Anyway, so I just thought, well, you talked about quilting, and I thought, well, that is one of our favorite places to go look at a beautiful little store. And if
Hmm.
anybody, hears of whatever, please encourage them to take it back because, that's a huge chunk out of somebody's inventory and potential
Yeah.
profit or loss.
And quilting is not a cheap hobby.
No.
When
Ooh,
you
no.
quilt, you don't do it because it's cost affordable. Quilting is a hobby.
Yeah.
It is cheaper to go to Sears and buy a quilt.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
all
I
the
hate
deal
to say,
by
is there a Sears anymore?
well,
No.
but all
Okay.
that you do by stealing is just make it cost more in the long run for everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or cause the small shops that allow us to shop locally for these products to go out of business.
Yeah.
You're hurting the community by doing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it was just one of those things. I thought, oh well, I thought, well, how can we support them?
I
Well,
had not seen that. No. So,
we'll support them by
yeah.
getting as much word out there as we can, because
mhm.
that's just devastating. And
Yeah. Well, as much as you like to support local shops and be it whatever your favorite craft or hobby is, that's not the way we want to have to promote them, but we'll
no,
certainly
exactly.
start making them visible. I'd rather, be making them more visible because I love their product, but
Well, and the thing is, I do really like what Nuts for Bolts carries.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I just meant I'd rather promote a post that's look at this gorgeous new fabric,
yeah,
yarn,
Exactly.
whatever pattern, rather than, hey, somebody did this.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so just again, part of it was because we were talking about the show, and then I saw this post come through, and I felt bad for. I mean, because we knew them, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, let's get word out there. But and and then you wonder why people have such security in their stores. Why this goes on? Well,
mhm,
because they need to protect themselves, and
yeah.
you know, we have
Yeah.
we have Prairie Fiber coming up. I've never heard of anything like that happening at Prairie Fiber. I mean, it's been a phenomenal,
Not that we've heard of. Hopefully
Um,
not.
you know, and it's a phenomenal opportunity to meet some great vendors. We all meet up there every year. Like we gather
mhm,
at Prairie Fiber, and that's sort of our time to come together and meet up. And
yeah.
you know, sometimes it's people I only see once a year, because I don't.
mhm,
I'm rural. I'm not in town, so it's not.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so it's a great time to come together and join up. And I know there are A&B Fibers is back at Macomb this
Nice.
year, so Anne's going to be there with her beautiful alpaca again. Oh no, Miss Enabler is going to be there. Cindy Marie Crates is going to be there, so that'll be fun. We'll get to see her again. Like I
Well,
say, we're by the yak farm.
and I mean, speaking of Cindy, it reminds me that our community is a small one. Like the first time we met Cindy was last year at Lacombe. Helen and I got chatting with her in the breakfast room at our hotel,
Right.
and she had misplaced a skein of yarn, and she realized when she got to the show. She called the front desk at the hotel and told them if they found it, just give it to the two knitters sitting in the breakfast room. They would make sure she got it. She didn't know our names, but she knew that if they got it to us, we would get it to her.
Yeah.
And it's a small enough community that she knew that would happen.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, I mean, even at Olds, I mean, how many times did we step in and let someone go to the bathroom? People trusted us with their booths and their sales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but it's phenomenal. It's a great community. Most crafting communities are that way, though, and you really hope that it's sort of indicative of the community that they're in. It's just one
Yeah.
of those nasties. We try to avoid
Yeah.
these as much as we can, but we also can't turn a blind eye to it.
Gosh, no.
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 So
Yeah,
you know,
that's really unfortunate. So,
so that's our public service announcement for the day.
yeah.
Meanwhile, back to talking yarn. but,
Indeed. So, yeah, no, but I have not had my projects wander off. I don't know, maybe it's because I quite often pick things with projects in mind for other people. I don't know. Things that are meant to be mine are mine.
you're
So
just
I,
being selfish, Connie. Come on.
you know, I picked it out for me.
Yeah. So everybody goes, "Oh, you're making it for you." Well, it started off that way, but no.
Yeah, no, we'll have to see if that happens, but I have not yet had that happen. So,
Although sometimes it wasn't the yarn talking. I made some fingerless mitts and a cowl and a hat. And I thought, oh, great, I'll be able to wear this. Went to visit our daughter, and my husband goes, "Don't you like these, dear?" And my daughter goes, "Oh, yeah, Dad, I really like those. Great, you can have them."
Oh,
And no,
and I know he survived because I've seen him. So,
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, we sort of had a little conversation coming home.
Yeah.
was that just an invite to buy more yarn?
Well, that's what happened, of course.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh my goodness.
So
Yeah,
sometimes it wasn't the yarn.
I know I have people quite often ask, do you make anything to sell? And my answer to that is always no. No, I do not.
Hmm.
I knit for myself and I knit for gifts. The same with quilting and stuff. And there have been some people out there who really do understand that you would never, ever get the value from it, but the materials alone, let alone paying yourself a decent wage to make it. I said, no, I absolutely do not knit to sell.
I
Absolutely not.
made one quilt that I sold, and
Mm-hmm.
that one I did for basically cost because it was my supervisor at work had asked for a Christmas quilt for her wife. And
Right.
that I actually made just out of assorted Christmas fabrics I already had on hand.
That's a little different. That was planned out in advance. It was not a massive project.
I was asked because a few years ago I made a walkabout quilt in Oiler's fabric for my brother-in-law. And he showed off the picture at work, and one of the ladies he works with asked how much I would charge for a queen size. At
Woo-hoo-hoo.
the time, and I made this quilt probably, it was before COVID.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been
Oiler's
7 or 8 years at least.
the Oiler's fabric at that time was probably about $32 a meter, not counting the two blending fabrics or the backing fabric or the
Batting.
batting or having it quilted or bound. So I did the calculations for it. And I didn't add on a huge amount for my personal time, but I added on some for my time. And
Yeah.
I think I told my sister at the time to let her know it would be about $5,000.
Yep.
Woo.
What, because I would have sent that quilt out to be professionally longer
Yeah.
and have it professionally bound because binding is not my strong suit.
Right.
And she was absolutely appalled that this quilt was not going to be $100. I could
Mm.
not buy the fabric for
I
it,
was going to say you
one of
could.
the fabrics for it, for $100.
Yeah. Well, and that's in sharp contrast to the people who wanted to buy your king size Harry Potter one and they didn't even twitch when you told them how much.
Yeah, I posted that one online in one of the Harry Potter groups, not even about selling it. And someone asked, how much I'd want for it. And I said, I think $7,000 or something at the time.
And
Okay.
they were like, really?
That was when my husband really stopped questioning my quilting hobby.
Well, at one time the rule of thumb, if you did a craft and you sold it at a craft show, the rule of thumb was the cost of materials doubled,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and that's how you priced your stuff. Well, then you
Yeah.
start realizing, it takes 5 hours to knit a pair of mitts. If you're just doubling your costs, you're making like pennies on the dollar for your time.
Mhm.
And
Now,
it
the exception to that is the ones that knit them, but they use the circular machines and then the afterthought thumb. Those don't take nearly as long.
no, but
Yeah.
they're still patterned, and you still
Oh
got
yeah.
to. I did a craft show in Bicycle. Yeah, and there was a lady there who had pure wool mitts that she had knit a whole table, and she was selling them for like $5 a pair.
How was she breaking even?
Well, I went down and talked to her because we'd actually, there was a little group of us that we were sort of doing marketing 101 because they were having some issues with some stuff. And so we were leading, I was leading a marketing 101 course because it was fairly quiet. The weather had been awful. So no one had come out. So we were having a marketing session. And so I went down and talked to her and she said, yeah, I kind of heard you up there talking. She goes, so what do you think of my pricing? And I said, I think you're way underpriced. Maybe it wasn't five, maybe even if it was $15 a pair of mitts, whatever it was exceedingly cheap
Mm-hmm.
for roll mitts. Well, for any mitts. Even acrylic these days is exceedingly
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Well, I have people who come every year. I said, I'm not surprised. I said,
Yeah.
how do you make any money? She goes, well, actually, this is all wool that had been donated to me. And I said, well, that's really lovely, but you're
What
still
about when
not.
it's gone?
What I
Mm-hmm.
said, what happens when it goes and you now have to buy wool? People are going to come to you expecting to pay $15, and you're now be charging double or triple that. And she's
Yeah.
going, really that much? I said, yeah. When did you last buy wool? Let's just take a look at this to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Just how much wool did they donate? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was a factory closeout or so. It was something anyway. She had quite a lot of it. She was getting close to the end of it though, and she'd been selling it for years, and she'd never raised her prices. I said, "Well, no, you've got to think what your market is.
Yeah.
You know, yes,
Now,
it's
I
Mm.
mean,
sell out, but selling out and not making anything for your
right.
time."
Kind of
No.
the one time I kind of consider the exception for that is when you see some of the seniors' homes where they're selling the, handmade crafts
Right,
and they're really cheap. And it is all supplies that have been donated to them because there's no overhead cost for them because basically what they sell it for is a little bit of a fundraiser.
right.
Exactly.
And I mean, they're not doing it to make
No, it's
necessarily a living off of it. It might be to support, the Christmas luncheon for their facility or something along those lines.
Yeah. Or
But
maybe they're donating it somewhere. You
yes.
you never know. So.
But I mean, it's like anything else. That is, other friends I had make glass beads,
Hmm.
and
Mm.
they're beautiful. They're not cheap, but they're handmade beads. You know, they're one of
Hmm.
a kind, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I
And
went to school with a girl and she became a glass blower. I think she had to go to Quebec to do the initial training.
wow,
Wow.
After that, she might have gone to Italy for some of the training.
I can see
Makes
that.
sense.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I'm going to date myself here. I actually went to the Corning Glass Works and got
ooh,
to blow the glass.
Ooh.
That was in the day when the Corning Glass Works was still there.
Oh.
glass blowing is a hobby. I've always been intrigued by it. But I think if I bring home more hobbies, my husband will be rather concerned.
It's
Kim,
stained glass for me.
That too. And
Kim,
woodworking. I'd love to get into using a lathe.
oh,
Yep.
lathes are easy. Um, Kim, the only problem with glass blowing is it's hot. You'd be
Yeah.
passing out on the floor.
Yeah, I think you'd die.
I don't think
Yeah.
that one's for you.
Not currently, no.
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 And,
Mm-mm.
and I mean, I would love to have um, a pottery oven, like a kiln, to be able to get back into pottery. But again, I work full time. I don't have time for all these hobbies.
Well, yes, hence that discussion earlier about apparently per hobby is an additional 8 years of life.
Is that to work on stable?
I don't know. Yeah, somebody posted that if you have grandma style hobbies, that it adds 8 years to your life. I wanted to know if it was per hobby. I said,
Well,
because,
yeah.
man, I'm going to be
Yeah.
immortal.
And then one of the girls commented that, oh no, after 3 it starts deducting years.
I'm like,
And I
no,
said,
no,
well,
no,
that's
no.
me, Thunk. And then one of the other ladies commented, it only deducts years for the people that comment that you have too many hobbies.
I'm thinking, 8 years. I mean, let's start talking about hobbies.
Connie told me I'm not allowed to get her into any more hobbies because I got the
No.
habit of taking her down a rabbit trail.
Well,
Yes.
I hate to. I mean, everybody that I talk to that I know in the hobby world has more than one hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Or has tried more than one hobby, and
Oh, yeah.
then I see things and I think, ooh, and it's like, no, 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 no. You have enough hobbies and a full-time job now.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't do the hobbies. Come on, you gotta have some fun.
Only so many hours in a day, unless you've got a time turner you'd like to loan me.
Well, I have not been knitting socks because I've had too many other incidentals to work on. One of them is
Oh,
knitting
it's a tiny sweater.
your sweaters.
Are you putting the
Oh,
initials on them?
Pardon?
Are you going to put the initials on them?
Yes, I'll be putting the initials on them. So I have about 18 of them to make. So,
oh my goodness.
Are Connie and I each getting one too?
oh, I guess I have 20 of them to make. I said I wanted to make a raglan sleeve sweater, which I am doing for something else, but I never thought it would be.
That size. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine getting the initials on them.
Well,
You can cross stitch them on.
I was going to say you put them on after, or you can knit them in if you want, but I'm just going, nope.
I think Mrs. Weasley knits hers in, just to
I'm
be
just going
fair
to
there.
duplicate stitch. Oh, actually, on that one, I wanted to. Oh, that's the other thing. Do you know where to find miniature sequins?
Miniature sequins?
Yeah, like
Teamer?
I want to put the initial, particularly on this one, in sequins.
I mean, my first thought is Timu.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I should check there.
Let me
That's
check.
the first thing that springs right to mind is check Timu.
Okay.
I have my phone. Let me check.
My goodness, it is windy here this evening.
Is it?
I keep hearing noises from outside. Oh yeah, it's wildly windy here
Oh.
tonight, so I keep hearing noises outside the window and it's like, my goodness, what is going on out there now?
Oh, we got blue skies and calm. That doesn't mean anything, though. The other day I went out, it was blue skies and rain.
We have blue skies and clouds just trucking on by.
Yeah, we had no
Like you can
clouds.
actually see them moving.
Mm.
I couldn't believe where I couldn't figure out where the rain was coming from. Like, okay, not a cloud in the sky, and it's raining. I'm
And
not
it's
in,
raining.
I'm not in southern Ontario.
No, no.
That was, so it was weird.
Yeah, that is weird. So, but yeah, no, going back where we were going. No, my projects usually have a planned destination when started, and they normally retain that destination. I just have problems with the wool and or pattern not cooperating.
Oh, okay.
Hence the cursed yarn that we have talked about before, that was bought to be a crocheted cardigan
Mm-hmm.
that no one, including professional pattern writers, could figure out why the sleeves were, what were they, 4 feet across at the end of the bell or something, Kim?
Oh.
Yeah. And we gave up, and that yarn sat and sat and sat and finally became a flax sweater.
So it was one. It was meant to be a sweater, just not that sweater.
It was meant
Well,
to be a crocheted sweater pattern that
yeah.
was on knit pick. That was kind of a Celtic look, so it had a squared neck
Mm-hmm.
and these lovely belled sleeves. And they were supposed to be, the Celtic style sleeves that fell down to maybe here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were almost as tall as I was. Because we had Rebecca look at the pattern because she was writing crochet patterns at the time.
published in magazines and everything, and
She
yeah.
said, "What the ever-loving."
Mm-hmm.
And you had Gage.
Yeah,
That was the worst part.
What? You
Kim
actually
had
your
Gage.
age? What?
I did not. I had to go down so far in hooks to get Gage that it was starting to split the yarn.
Yeah. So there was something wrong with that pattern, and neither of us is capable of that kind of math. I'm good at math, but I wouldn't have the slightest idea where to start for something like that. So
Mm.
if I was taught, I'd probably be really good at it because I do have a knack for math, but I wouldn't even know where to start. So
Yeah,
So, yeah, that yarn sat forever and ever. Has your yarn ever turned into anything, or is it still there?
it's still here.
Yeah.
The other skill I would like to learn is pattern grading, because I did find an original pattern for what was it called now? The Gunny Sacks dress.
Yes.
And I found an uncut Gunny Sacks pattern at a fabric sale that we went to.
It's probably worth a fortune.
Probably, but it's a junior size, and I am not. But I have watched people online like Rebecca, like Lady Rebecca Fashions, and she used to do Gunny Saxoween and Gunny Saxmas, where she'd make the Gunny Sax dresses
Mm.
out of seasonal pattern or fabric, and they were so fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I can't figure out how to scale it from this to this.
Yeah.
Without making it look like the yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without making it look as much like a circus tent as it's probably going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did when I was younger, I did elder yaks. We have to talk about these things as younger days.
Hey, I was reading something the other day. You are technically Gen X
How am I Gen X?
because you're part of the boomer generation was too far past the technology of the original boomers that you actually fall into a kind of a Gen X subcategory.
Welcome aboard,
Oh well.
because I'm Gen X, so.
I was gonna say I know you're Gen X. Yeah.
That's until they changed it.
Gee, no one informed me.
No, you fall into a kind of a subcategory like I do. Because I'm an 81. So I mean Gen X used to go up to 85, and then I think it was like 2009 they decided it only went to 1980 because of the technology changes.
Technology, even at 80s, was like every 3 months. That was a technological year. Was 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
And
I
I mean,
worked in the tech field, so yeah, every 3 months.
for the innovations that I have seen in my lifetime are nothing compared to what my grandmother saw. She was born when the Golden Gate Bridge was still under construction.
Yeah.
My granddad was
My
born in
grandmother was pre 1920.
1896. Yeah, my grandma was born in 1896. My granddad was born in 1896.
Mm-hmm.
So we think of everything he's seen and the wars he
Yeah.
lived through. And yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, when they were
Of course, I
born,
just can't do
indoor
anything
plumbing
normal.
wasn't a common feature.
Well, even folks, my age that have grandparents born in the early 1900s, you got to think about it. They got the first TVs. I can watch TV on my phone. And that's just in their lifetime. So,
When my dad was a child, his dad bought the first TV in their area.
yeah. Yeah. So look at that right there. And now you can just watch it on your phone
Yeah.
Yeah.
from anywhere.
And
My grandma was born before sliced bread was commercially available.
there's
Yeah.
there's more technology here in my hand than there was that took the Apollo 11 to the moon.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, we'll just keep on dating ourselves. Remember when to go on the internet you needed a website address? There was no such thing as Google.
Yes.
You had to listen to the as it connected.
Yeah,
Oh, but you had to write that.
in the middle of the night.
Well, you had to write that link down from the TV commercial.
And
You didn't just Google, hey, I think there was a yak farm around here.
or back in the day when, most of the video games you might have had were a copy of a copy of a copy that someone had on the big floppy disk, and you had the cheat sheet with the code that you entered in through DOS prompt.
Oh, yeah.
And God help you if you lost that sheet, you couldn't access anything on those disks.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because the disk wouldn't load on the computer. You had to physically go into the root menu and enter the DOS prompt. Oh God, I sound old.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, enough dating ourselves. Where's my button?
I need a button that says "Get back in 2025, ladies."
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yes, back at the ranch. Kim's projects are running away.
Yeah.
Running away from home.
And they're talking to her in great loud voices, apparently. So,
Yeah, like I said, I only have that problem with the pattern or the yarn disagreeing with each other, but I have not had projects wander away. So
This one's loving the pattern. Like,
to be fair, you might die in that sweater, but
well, I might.
yeah.
heat stroke.
But the person that it's saying it wants to go to lives in the Northwest Territories. And does things like cross-country skiing and winter camping.
At least it's not saying it wants to go to somebody who lives in Texas. I mean,
Have some
small bright sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I mean, I am very happy with this yarn. It's working up beautifully.
Yeah. Yeah, it is absolutely lovely. So
All right, so we want you to comment below and tell us about your talking yarn. What does it tell you? Do you have one that you started and is still waiting for? Let us know, because I'm sure we're not the only ones who have little voices that talk to us while we're working. And
I certainly hope we're not the only ones.
yeah,
There's something interesting going on.
yeah, there's a reason we say they're coming to take us away. Anyway, so retreat. So Lacombe, first of all, we'll see you in September in Lacombe.
Yes.
Prairie Fiber, please come by and see us. And then September is our retreat.
Yeah. No, October is our retreat, but you are at under 30 days left to register.
Right. And that's because the hotel has this booked out, and we have to give them notice, and we also have to book the tables for our community dinner on the Saturday night. So please register. Go to the website. We'll make sure that's in our comments somewhere. And go to the website.
How long after Lacombe is deadline again?
1 week, 5 days.
One week.
Deadline is. I don't even think it's that long.
I think it's the 18th. Is it not?
Let me check.
Because
I'm just thinking, come see us in Lacombe if you have questions. So
and we can register you right there, so you can register
exactly.
Yes.
And it is filling up, so please, we'd love to see you there. We will be hosting our pajama party on the Friday night. We've been planning all sorts of fun activities.
My slippers got here this week.
So new slippers, new pajamas, everything.
Retreat in September 15th.
15th, so right after Lacombe. I thought it was the 18th. Woo!
No, it's the 15th. If you have not booked by the 15th, unfortunately, we cannot accommodate you if you have not registered to attend and contacted the hotel to book your room.
Right.
Yep.
So, Please do. We're looking forward to it. Everybody's excited. You do not have to knit. You do not have to crochet. You can just come and enjoy a weekend away in Jasper. We have
Mm-hmm.
people that are drawers that come. We've had people come with coloring books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there have been weekends we have gone and done nothing but yak the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Bring your cross stitch, bring your hand sewing.
Bring your Sudoku.
Yeah,
Your
just
book.
bring you.
Just bring you. Come enjoy
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
fun, some friendship, a lot of
Bring
silliness.
your children.
And
Well, and it's the Dark Sky Festival, and I'd like to get out and see that while we're there for sure. So,
Bring
and
comfortable shoes.
yes,
yep.
comfortable shoes. Don't worry, we send you a list of all the things we ask you to bring.
Yeah.
So, please, enjoy that. And don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe. That's the other one. I knew there was an S. It wasn't. You think I know this enough by now? I do it all the time, but no, not today.
Wheels are turning, the yarn's in tow. Through Alberta's fields where the wild winds blow. Connie threads tales with Helen spin. Kim's got the tea, let the chatter begin.